What happened to Alana Roscoe? Gasped Tom Shaw in shock, not so totally trying to see up Alana Roscoe's dress and/or pants. I found her lying in the middle of the road, broken and beaten, almost to death. Well, more so than other nights. I fear it may be the work of the vampire Count... Wait a second. Ken Park. Fucking! Oh God, no! Not that bastard and/or bitch! Why won't he leave us alone and go back to molesting the livestock like that off-Kiwi boy does? When will this nightmare end? Right now, growled Tom Shaw, having taken a shot of soju for courage that otherwise usually remained buried deep within himself, except for occasional bouts of public fluidness and antiquing. We need the help of an angry mob. Call up Shane Corvo.
Always good for a mob.
Thank you. Jared Mitchell.
What do I do? You're in the mob.
Craig Walsh.
I'm in the mob.
And
how you doing?
Tessa Rogers. They're experts when it comes to social outrage and/or public drunkenness. They'll help us. Well, I don't know about Jared Mitchell. I think the phrase statute of limitations isn't just a pretty turn of a word. And I'm fairly certain he's into sheep banging.
She was an 18-year-old.
Isn't everyone in this town? Now get on it. And so Tom Shaw made the calls. Well, they texted everyone. And after 20 or so minutes of idiotic banter like LOL and MILF and BABOWEY otherwise known as Baba Waguk, shockingly they were able to both get their shit and pitchforks together and began to make their way to Count Ken Park's dark and forbidding castle. Well, dark and forbidding office cell, but the loft was really small, like midget small. Like I would have trouble standing up in that loft small. You know what I mean? From the top of the battlements of the office cell, Count Ken Park looked down and sneered an evil sneer at the approaching mob. Then he turned to his trusty bug-eating or buggery-baiting sidekick, Anthony Arkwright. Anthony, listen, the townspeople are approaching. They're coming for me. First time anyone's ever come for you, muttered Anthony. What was that? Thundered Count Ken Park sharply. Nothing, master. What shall we do to stymie their arrival? Really? You couldn't think of a better word than stymie. No, I really couldn't. I'm late and I'm slowly working off the liquor from hashing. Fuck off. Fine. What shall we do to stymie their arrival? Anthony! I think it is time to release him or her. Oh no, master, anything but that is too horrible. Nothing's too horrible for those drunken reprobates. Anthony, by my command, release my creature. No, not that creature. Hands back where I can see them, Anthony. I mean the other abomination major. Release. Amy Hollander. Enough. Eager to obey his master's wishes, lest they be further tortured by drunken and inane stories until 3 in the morning, Anthony ran down to the dungeon, threw open the gate, and inside a dank and slightly fragrant cell lay Amy Hollander, slobbering in her own filth. My master commands you to rise, so rise, abomination. Put some pants on first. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, it's very impressive. Who knew? No, I really don't want to get a close-up view. There are villagers coming to storm the castle. Go bugger them. And with a wicked and slightly cockeyed grin, the creature known only as Amy Hollander lumbered off to dispatch her master's enemies. And as Count Ken Park watched with joy, the monster Amy Hollander tore into the villagers, first ripping off Craig's head, then ripping off Jared's legs, and putting the heads back where the legs were and the legs back where the head was, and shockingly, vastly improving the appearance of either. And then, as a final act of terror, ripping off Katie Tippett's dick. Yes, I said dick. I know, I was shocked as well. And turning on the last 2 standing villagers who were quaking in fear, as well as engaging in a rather sordid display of heavy petting. I always wanted those 2 kids to get together, didn't you? Amy began tearing them limb from limb, beating them with those limbs, and tearing off more limbs until there were no more limbs to tear, and then stopping for a quick rest and a shot, because I don't care how strong you are. Dismembering teachers is not a walk in the park. It takes a lot out of you. And let's face it, most of creature Amy's best years are behind her. So let's just say it took quite a long time to finish. And as Count Kinpark viewed the carnage, mayhem, and excessive R-rated bloodletting, he let out a terrible laugh and turned into a small form of Rodentia that they didn't already resemble, and flew away into the night, as Amy let out a mighty howl, followed by a mighty fart, and swept away into the night to raise more terror and perhaps get loaded on Cast Red 69. Woo! And they say that when the moon is full, or half full, or at least slightly resembling the way the moon is tonight, and the creature still stalks these very woods, you know, the woods beyond the billows. Sometimes he or she comes out at night looking for a fresh meat or a fresh piece of ass. And for all we know, that piece of ass could be you. Ooh. All right, sir.